Hello, my name is Keith Haswell and I'm a professional astrologer with over 30,000 clients worldwide and 40 years experience in the business, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this particular video on the mystery of gratitude. Now, I've written 2 books on astrology, meditation and reincarnation, and I've put those into 36 CDs with my voice, with beautiful backing music. I take you in and out of meditation time and time again, and they're designed to help you to become more of who you really are. Now, I did a video recently and it was very easy for a lot of people to look at that as a sales pitch for having a horoscope done by me. But that was not what the message was at all. It was a very subtle message, just as the one here on this video today is a very subtle message, and some will miss that important message there. But the most important thing is that we're laying seeds here together. We're laying seeds here together to help you to understand a little bit about the mystery of gratitude. Now, on this one that I did with the progress moon cycles, it came across as perhaps a sales pitch for having a horoscope done, but that was not what I was trying to convey at all. What I was trying to convey, and what I did convey to a percentage of you, was the magnificence and the wonder of the way that God and Goddess have given you the opportunity to expand your imagination. And I pointed out that imagination was the language of the soul. That imagination is a language, and all of us are in the process of learning that language. That language is the language that transcends all international barriers, and it transcends our reality into the inner world, where you can communicate on soul levels as well, because the imagination is the language of the soul. Now, what I meant by that was that it was an absolute incredible thing that God and Goddess have done for all of us, is to give us a progress moon cycle. Now, the progress moon is a focus of your consciousness for 30 months upon a particular sign that the progress moon is moving through. Now, when it's moving through the sign Aries, you are taking in a certain type of energy of commencing and starting projects and having enthusiasm. It's a fire sign. When it's going through Taurus, it's the look at the practical things and material possessions and the beauties and the wonder of nature. So when the moon is going through there for 30 months, your individual moon, it's not anybody else's. The progress moon is your individual moon. This is the wonder and the beauty of it. And the way that it works is that for 30 months, your progress moon is going through a particular sign, and therefore activating certain areas of your imagination. Activating your imagination in different ways. When the moon is going through the sign Gemini in your horoscope for 30 months, then there's a distinct communicative faculty there being developed, and a sense of duality, and a desire to study and take in knowledge. And when the moon is going through Cancer for 30 months in your horoscope, not others, your horoscope, then it's activating the nurturing side of your nature. But it's activating that nurturing side of your nature for 30 months while the moon is progressing through the sign Cancer, and activating your imagination in that particular way. And when the moon is going through Leo, it activates a different set of energies that is activating your imagination. Remember, the imagination is your means of communication with these inner worlds. And so therefore the way that it all works is amazing. The way that God and Goddess have got it set up. When the moon is going through Virgo for 30 months in your horoscope, you're looking at service, and you're looking at health and dietary matters and so forth. When the moon is going through Libra, you're looking forward to uniting and forming a relationship. When the moon is going through the sign Scorpio, you're introspecting and reflecting and bringing about change within yourself for 30 months. When the moon is going through the sign Sagittarius, you're looking to expand to new horizons through foreign travel or an intake of knowledge. When the moon is going through the sign Capricorn, you're looking to reach high achievements in your life and practical matters. When the moon is going through the sign Aquarius, you're looking to innovate, and you're looking to bring new things, new ideas, new understandings into your consciousness. And when the moon is moving through Pisces, you're looking to sidle up to the divine and to develop that psychic aspect of your nature. So therefore, in a period of 28 years, 12 times 30 months, your progress moon is going through all the 12 signs of the zodiac, and each of those 30-month periods is activating your imagination in a different way. And that was the message that I wanted to convey to you in that particular video, is the wonder and the magic there of what God and Goddess have got it all set up, so that it's all designed to expand your imagination, and therefore to expand that capacity to communicate in the inner worlds. And when the moon starts going through after the age of 28, when the moon starts going through those 12 signs all over again, naturally you're doing it from the position of the adult. And so therefore it's a different set of energies again that you're integrating into your consciousness and activating your imagination in different ways until you're 56 years of age. And then there's a third cycle and so forth. So this was the wonder of what was going on there with that particular one. But what I want to do for you here is to focus upon the miracle and the magic and the mystery of gratitude. Now, once again, it's a very subtle subject that we're talking about here, this gratitude business, okay? Now, you are a pioneer and a map maker. Your task here is to expand your relationship with gratitude so that you can make the maps and lay the foundations for others in consciousness, so that when they are ready, they have maps to follow. You are a pioneer, remember. The very fact that you are watching this video means that you are a pioneer and a map maker. Gratitude is a critical component, an essential component in the alchemy of change, in which you and the world are so intimately enmeshed. Now you say to yourself, Keith, you can't be serious about gratitude and being grateful for what's going on in the world today with all of the terrorism and all of the horror and all of the war that's going on and all of the fear and the anxiety and the insecurity and the upheaval and the depravity that's going on all over the world. You can't be serious about being grateful for these things. It's important for you to remember that you are not part of the consensus. Your task as a map maker is to go out ahead of the consensus and to make the maps. And what's happening in the world today is that as these new maps are coming into the consciousness of humanity, and as gratitude and imagination is coming down and New Age philosophy is coming down into the mind of man, picked up by you as a pioneer and you as a map maker, what's happening is that you naturally get a reaction from the reactionary forces of the world. So all of the religions of the world and all of the reactionary forces of the world are reacting against this new dispensation that's coming into the consciousness of humanity. And so they resist it, and they try to drag humanity back to the way it was in the 1400s or the 1500s or the 1600s or 100 years ago or 50 years ago or whatever. They try to drag humanity back to the way it was. They are the reactionary forces, and they are part of the consensus. This is a natural reaction to the incoming of these progressive energies of the New Age. Now, if humanity is going to survive, gratitude is an essential component of this alchemy of change. Gratitude begins with a feeling, builds into an action, expands to a state of mind, and ends in a state of being. You already have a rapport with gratitude, but it's time now to expand on what you know. You may not fully understand the mystery, the power, and the magic of gratitude, but if you can expand on what you know, you can more readily activate the feelings of gratitude in others. Men, women, and children with faces, those that you know and those that you don't know. The first component of gratitude, and I'm not going to go into a great deal of depth here because it's complex enough as it is. The first component of gratitude is a feeling of thankfulness. It's a synonym sometimes in the minds of others of giving thanks. And that's as far as it goes with most people in the consensus. Gratitude equals thankfulness. End of subject. But the second component of gratitude is a feeling of joy and a feeling of happiness. A feeling of happiness about what you are grateful about, and lifting to a state of being called joy. Now, joy is not something that you maintain ongoing. It peaks and troughs. Joy is the peak, happiness is the trough. And there's an alternation between these two. In this second component, and it's a genuine feeling of happiness about what you are grateful for, and joyful about what you are grateful for. The third component of gratitude is a feeling again, but a feeling of creativity, a feeling of owning your creativity that lifts to an action of being creative, the act of creating. Now, this creation can be tangible or it can be abstract, but it is a feeling that lifts to an action of creating and being creative. The fourth component of gratitude is love. Accepting the fact that you are loved. You are loved unconditionally by so many of your aspects of self, your future self, your higher self. You are loved by others on the inner side of life who are working to help you to become more of who you really are. So it's critical to know that you are loved and to let it be real and alive. Now, it's important then to put that knowing into action of loving yourself by doing the right thing by yourself with regard to right exercise, diet, meditation on a daily basis, aspiring to become more of who you really are, being loving of yourself, looking after yourself, getting good rest and sleep and so forth, working towards transformation and change of yourself, but also being a loving person to others. The fifth component of gratitude is vulnerability. That means owning your weaknesses and your limitations, but also owning your powers, strengths and talents. Vulnerability means to move beyond your limitations. And all of us have these limitations. None of us are perfect, otherwise we wouldn't be here. So all of us have faults and weaknesses there inside of ourselves, and it's owning and admitting to yourself that yes, I am not perfect. Yes, I have my vulnerabilities. Yes, I have my weaknesses, but also I have my strengths, and I'm working to improve on those strengths and to handle and control those limitations and to transform those limitations. That is the fifth component of gratitude. The sixth component of gratitude is understanding. Having understanding, yes. Understanding about the nature of reality and your place in that reality, but also, and most important, being an understanding person. With understanding, your gratitude has substance. You know what you are grateful for, not just light. There is substance to what you have gratitude and thankfulness for. If you say to somebody, for example, I'm very, very grateful for everything that you've done for me. That is one particular level of expressing gratitude. But when you give it substance and itemize the things that you are grateful for, you give it meaning and purpose. Substance, not just light. And the seventh component of gratitude is surrender. To surrender your sense of separateness. Now that sense of separateness is very, very vital to your survival, especially in the early stages of your growth and development, to have that separateness and be separate from others. But ultimately that leads to an understanding that you are one with all that is. Gratitude melts boundaries. The ultimate state of being is oneness. So it's nice to have this opportunity to be able to talk with you here about gratitude. That's all I'm going to go into as far as this particular subject is concerned. The mystery of gratitude. It's up to you now to pick up the ball and run with it and research and investigate things further. Now, I'm prepared to do your horoscope for you and to do your progressed moon cycles. These are vitally important to know which sign that your progressed moon is going through. Therefore, what part of your imagination is being activated during this 30-month period. So I go to the trouble of doing your horoscope chart, free of charge, mind you, with horoscope number 1, and I tell you where your rising sign is, and I tell you where your progressed moon is, what sign that it's sitting in, and how long it's been there, and how many months it's going to remain in that particular sign, so that you can know from what I give you in printed form, what sort of experiences are you going through to expand that imagination of yours during this particular 30-month cycle. This has nothing to do with sun sign astrology or rising sign astrology that applies to 1/12 of the community. This is to do with your individual horoscope and your progressed moon in that horoscope. So it's individual and unique to you and you alone. And that's what's very important about this service that I'm now offering and that is proving so very, very popular. Now, not only do I tell you where the progress moon is currently in this current 30-month period, I tell you which house of the horoscope that's sitting in, because the house that it sits in determines the focus of your attention during this 30-month period of the moon going through a particular house. It won't be the same 30-month period as what it's going through the sign, perhaps. It'll be a different thing there, because you've got different degrees of a sign on the cusp of each of your houses. So that's a unique thing again. So when the moon is going through the first house of your horoscope for 30 months, you've got a good opportunity to commence and start new projects and ideas. When the moon is going through the second house of finances, you'll be focused upon matters relating to money and security. When the moon is going through the third house of your horoscope, you'll want to have an intake of knowledge. When the moon is going through the fourth house, there'll be a desire to form the family unit and to nurture the family. When the moon is going through the fifth house of your horoscope, it activates for 30 months your desire for love and social activities and romance and so forth. And children, if they're in your life too, will activate their things in their lives, and your focus upon their interests. When the moon is going through the sixth house of health, there'll be a focus upon health or the job, be a change in job in that 30-month period. When the moon is going through the seventh house of relationships, there'll be a new relationship stabilizing or improving. So it's a wonderful service that I'm offering here by telling you where your progress moon is in the sign that it's sitting in, how long it's going to be there, and what house that it's sitting in, and how many months it's got left to go in that 30-month cycle through that particular house as well. And I give you a description then lower down about what that means when the moon is in Aries, or the moon is in Cancer, or the moon is in Aquarius, or whatever. When the moon is in the first house, or the third house, or the ninth house, or the 12th house, it's no good trying to commence and start projects and ideas if the moon is going through the 12th house, for example, the house of self-undoing. That's a time to seek solitude and introspection and transformation of all the things that you've learnt through the progress moon, through the other 11 houses of your horoscope. So you're getting a little bit of a picture here of what I'm offering for you is an incredible thing. So by now the website address will have popped up on the screen. So come to my website, submit your birth details, and I'll be happy to do your horoscope chart for you and tell you all about these things, what your ascendant is, where the progress moon is currently and what sign, how long it's going to be there, and what house that it's sitting in. Look, it's a wonderful service that helps you to understand yourself more. But not only that, I also tell you what aspects that the progress moon forms in terms of conjunctions with any planets that are in that 30-degree segment that it's moving into now. These conjunctions are very, very powerful and very, very important. And when they form aspects with other planets in your horoscope too, aspects not just of conjunction but of sextile, 60 degrees and positive, 90 degrees in a testing cycle, 120 degrees a trine, and an opposition, a testing cycle again, I tell you what sort of cycles that you've got coming up in the next 30 months with the progress moon aspects to the natal planets in your horoscope. In your horoscope, nobody else's. This is an individual thing to you. So I thank you for your attentiveness here. By now my website address will have popped up, so write that down and come to my website, submit your birth details, and let's help you to become more of who you really are. Subscribe to my videos because I'm putting out new videos all the time, and it's nice to have this opportunity to be able to work with you here to help you to expand that imagination and to understand more about the marvellous wonder and the mystery of gratitude. Thank you.